Okay, so hey everyone. Welcome to my first monthly roundup. I'm gonna do these videos every month where I just basically talk about what happened in the month in question. Obviously, we just got past February. January. All in all, January was a pretty good month. After a 3-week hiatus, the UFC came back with a bang. January was a pretty good month for me too, personally. Like, we just hit 100 subscribers on the channel, which I wanted to thank you for. I really appreciate all the support I've been getting on the channel. Like I say pretty much every video. Thank you guys so much, and there's way more to come. I have some huge ideas for the channel. I got my interview with Chase Hooper, and I'm really gonna be hoping to do a lot more interviews with fighters. So yeah, I have some big ideas for the channel, and I hope you guys stay tuned. As I was saying, January was a pretty good month for the UFC. We had some pretty good fights. The year obviously started off with Max Holloway and then Calvin Kattar. Then we had Michael Chiesa versus Neil Magny on the Wednesday card, which compared to the two other cards this month isn't really worth talking about. No offense to Michael Chiesa fans, he got a great win. It was a great performance against a very tough opponent, because Neil Magny has been on a run before he ran into Michael. And then obviously we had Poirier versus McGregor, which was a great card overall. The co-main event and the main event definitely stole the show. I think the best fight of the month was obviously Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar. It wasn't necessarily the most competitive fight of the month, or in history. I think that was one of the most one-sided beatdowns in recent history, or even history of the UFC. I don't remember the last time we've had a 50-42 scorecard, and the other two scorecards were 50-43, so wait, did I say 42 or 43? Max Holloway came back in a big way. I think people were kind of counting him out versus Kattar after those two losses to Alexander Volkanovski, who is a stud in his own right. But yeah, he proved me wrong. I thought Calvin's boxing was gonna be way too much for Max, but boy did he prove me wrong. I think that was the best Max Holloway we've ever seen before, and he definitely should get another shot at the belt once Volkanovski and Ortega handled their business. I think Volkanovski successfully defends his belt in that fight, but who knows, man. The last time we saw Ortega, he was in phenomenal form. Yeah, he really showed up that night after a very long layoff. So yeah, we'll see. I think Volk takes it. So yeah, I think Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar was the fight of the month. If we're gonna be talking about the performance of the month, I think it's also Max, but if I don't want to give the same award to the same guy, so if we're not gonna give it to Max Holloway, I think we should give it to Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler knocking out a very tough opponent in Dan Hooker in the first round. And Dan Hooker is so durable. We saw him in wars against Poirier and Felder. Like, both of them haven't been able to put him away. And for Michael Chandler to just walk up in there and knock him out in the first round that's insane. Like, there's no understating that. That's insane. Dan Hooker was a top 5 opponent at that moment, and yeah, I definitely underestimated Michael Chandler. I thought he would not be able to hang with the top 5 of the UFC, but he showed that he could. I think him versus Justin Gaethje is the fight to make at this point, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dana throws him in there for the title versus either Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira. I think the fight for the vacant belt, since Khabib is most definitely gonna be vacating the belt, should be Dustin versus Charles. But I think Dustin said that he wouldn't fight Michael Chandler next, which I think is fair. I think Dustin should be fighting for the belt next, and Michael Chandler does not deserve a title shot at this point, in my opinion. But Dana is wanting to make Poirier versus Chandler, so what I think is gonna happen is Dustin will be offered that fight for the belt. Dustin will obviously not accept the fight because he wants Charles. Dana's gonna be walking around saying, "Oh, Dustin doesn't want to fight," like he always does, and he's gonna make Charles versus Chandler for the belt. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that happens, but I truly hope that Dustin gets a shot at the belt versus Charles, and yeah, I think Dustin becomes a champion there. I had a bet with a buddy of mine that I would secretly, behind my mom's back, get a diamond tattoo somewhere. So I kind of hope I'm 18 yet by the time Dustin becomes a champion. So yeah, so I think Michael Chandler does deserve Performance of the Month because I don't want to give Max two awards. So yeah, we're going with that. I'm sorry, Max fans. And then obviously we had for Fighter of the Month, I think Dustin Poirier deserves that spot. Yeah, Dustin Poirier knocking out Conor McGregor was crazy. Listen, I'm a Dustin fan, and I was kind of counting him out in that fight. I just saw Conor catching him in those first 2 rounds, and to be fair, he did. Conor did catch Dustin a couple times, but Dustin's chin held up pretty good. He said that he was only wobbled by one of those shots in the first round, so yeah, his chin definitely held up. Yeah, but I could see Dustin winning a decision, but him knocking Conor out was crazy. Obviously, those low calf kicks really helped him, and everybody on Twitter will vouch for me, but I was saying that from the beginning, that Dustin should wreck Conor's leg in the first round or 2. I hate to say I told you so. And people were saying, "Oh, but Conor would simply check that kick." But that low calf kick is so overpowered. Like, other than just getting out of the way, there's no real way to check it, because, like, Conor said it himself, Dustin was just kicking through Conor's check because of the place where the kick lands. Honestly, that fight gave me some mixed feelings. Obviously, I was ecstatic for Dustin to win. I was screaming at my TV like a madman. I was so happy. I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, it felt so weird seeing Conor get knocked out. But after it kind of started to sink in, I did feel bad for Conor. I like Conor when he's behaving himself outside of the cage. I obviously love watching his style. So yeah, I felt kind of bad that he got knocked out. But yeah, I hope he'll be back. I would hate to see him go box Manny Pacquiao now. So yeah, I hope he'll be back as soon as possible in the octagon. I think he was given a 6-month medical suspension. So yeah, that won't be he won't be back before June, which is a pretty long time. So we'll see. Maybe he'll fight in the International Fight Week in July. It's kind of tough to say who he should fight, because if they're making Chandler versus Gaethje, he could fight the loser. Should he fight the loser? I think he could fight Gaethje after that fight, or maybe Michael Chandler. I think he could fight the winner of that fight or the loser. It doesn't really matter. Either of those two would be a great fight, I think. I think Dana will obviously be putting him back on track to a title shot like immediately. So yeah, we'll see what the landscape looks like by then. At 55, yeah, mostly divisions move pretty fast in the UFC, so yeah, we'll see what happens. Those are the awards that I'm giving away. Fight of the month, Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar. Performance of the month, Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker. And then fighter of the month is obviously Dustin Poirier. So yeah, that was basically the video. It's been a while since I really did a proper like sit down video and just talk to a camera. Like I said, thank you all for the support. I really do appreciate it. I love making these videos. I want to get better at doing these videos. I already feel like I'm getting better at talking to a camera, and just I'm better at being able to express myself like with words, and I want to get better at creatively expressing myself through the editing of these videos. And yeah, I've said all these things before. I want to become more knowledgeable about the sport and all that. And yeah, so yeah, that was the video. Thank you all for watching. February will be a good month as well, I think. We're starting off next week with Overeem versus Volkov, I think, if memory serves me right. And then after that we got Usman versus Burns, which is a fight I'm really excited for. If I'm not mistaken, Megan Anderson and Amanda Nunes fight on that same card, or is it the next one? I don't know. I think it's next month. Yeah. But yeah, I'll be doing a prediction video on that pay-per-view as well. I'm gonna do it for every pay-per-view, like the predictions video with everyone on MMA Twitter, because I like involving our community in my videos. My channel is for the boys, like Slick Diaz says about this podcast. Shout out to you. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna catch you guys later, and yeah, thanks for watching.